This episode of New Jersey Living, we're going to take a deep dive into the 6 challenges that you need to expect if you are coming to the Garden State. Obviously, those who are already residing here, you already know these, you're familiar with them, but maybe you're going to look at it with a little bit of a different context if you've never lived outside of the Garden State. As someone who did not grow up in New Jersey, I was not born and raised here, I was born and raised in another state, there were definitely some unique challenges and some unique features as well that are somewhat luxury items of living here in the Garden State. So we're going to take a dive into that now. Let's get started. Welcome to New Jersey Living. My name is Corey Jones, and I'm a real estate agent here in New Jersey with Coldwell Banker and team leader of the New Jersey Living Group. Also host of New Jersey Living, the podcast. Here at New Jersey Living, we strive to provide 5-star content that reflects our 5-star Google ratings. And we look to endeavor to cover all things New Jersey, whether it be real estate, social, entertainment, dining scenes, iconic locations. All things New Jersey, we endeavor to cover right here. So as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to jump into the 6 major challenges that you need to be prepared for. And by challenges, they're not necessarily negatives. I consider some of them to be just uniquely New Jersey. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is population density. I'm going to flash up a map here and a chart, both reflecting the most densely populated areas of the country. And when it comes to states, of the 50 states in the Union, guess which state is at number 1? Yes, it is New Jersey, the Garden State. Population density per square mile is going to be the highest in New Jersey than anywhere else in the country. So what that means is there are definitely challenges when it comes to traffic. So as it pertains to traffic, when you travel anywhere, particularly 3 areas of the state that draw the most are going to be around New York City, around Philadelphia, and down the shore. These tend to be the highest traffic areas. Of course, the shore is the exception in that it's not a metro area by any means, but a lot of people are visiting the shore, not only from New Jersey, but also Pennsylvania and New York to enjoy some of these lovely beaches in New Jersey. A lot of traffic, but as you imagine, it's seasonal. On the other hand, traffic around Philadelphia and even more so New York City, where we are and where we cover most of our content, you can expect a lot of traffic in peak times that are similar to a lot of areas around the country. So if you live in DC area, that metro area, I've driven there many times. Yes, it can be a headache. Same with LA. I've driven from San Diego up to LA. That can be a bit of a beast. But compared to those areas, there's not too many others that I've been in a lot of states around the country that reflect the traffic here in New York, New Jersey. So that's one of the population density, but there are others. Another factor are travel when it comes to airport travel primarily. The luxury is there are 3 airports all in the immediate area right around northern New Jersey. Newark Airport is the primary and largest airport here in the state of New Jersey, but we also are very close to JFK, which is in New York City, and LaGuardia, which is in New York City. Those 3 airports draw tremendous traffic, and if you are someone who is flying in or flying out, or maybe even just connecting in between, you've probably felt some of that congestion that we're referring to right now in terms of population density, because travel can be very challenging when you have a lot of people in a relatively small area. Item number 3 as it pertains to population density, shopping. In the season of the holidays, particularly in the summer season where people are just out and about and more outside, outdoors, it is really, really crowded in areas that are major attractions, whether it be dining, whether it be beaches, shopping malls, and even grocery stores. You are pretty much going to be not literally shoulder to shoulder, but you're going to feel like it in many areas that you go here in the Garden State compared to other areas of the country. Whenever we do go away on vacation and we go to something as simple again as a grocery store, it feels so different than it does back home in that same kind of space. And finally, entertainment venues. concerts, sporting events. These type of things draw big crowds because these are big venues. Anything that's happening in New Jersey, and most recently, Taylor Swift was here for her concert. Beyonce was here for her concert, both at the MetLife Stadium. These are going to draw large numbers of people. Whatever entertainment venues you see here are built just for that, to draw large numbers. They're not going to be small, comfortable, cozy venues necessarily. You can expect a crowd. So those are the 4 factors in density population. Let's go on to the next. Other item, challenge, thing that you need to survive: municipalities. New Jersey has over 600 municipalities. Relatively small state in terms of our geographic footprint, 600 plus municipalities. What that means is each has its own ordinances, its own requirements in terms of something as simple as, say, garbage pickup. Some towns provide it, others don't. You have to contract it for yourself. Some have shared school districts. They have maybe one town has only K-8, and then they share high schools with the neighboring district as a regional. Some cases they are K-8, both side by side, but one town has A-rated schools. Next door could be C-rated schools. So where you are in one county and one relatively small geographic location can vary significantly with just a 15, 20-minute drive. Number 3 is going to be more specific to dining. And with dining, again, just having traveled all around the country, there are areas of the country where you can readily find any chain, any national or international chain of restaurant readily around the corner anywhere that you go. New Jersey is a bit different. I can speak on that as someone who grew up in Virginia, spent most of my adult life here in New Jersey, but grew up in a different place where chain restaurants were a common thing. You'd find Pizza Huts, for example, everywhere. Yes, you do find that in New Jersey, so don't think that you can't find a Cheesecake Factory or a Domino's or any Chick-fil-A is relatively new here, right? So we didn't get a proliferation of Chick-fil-A's until about the last 10 years. But you get my point. There's definitely chain restaurants all over. However, they tend to be in malls or major shopping centers, but if you are just in neighborhoods, there are a lot of small local businesses that reflect a diverse cuisine from people all around the world. New Jersey is an extremely diverse location in terms of our demographics. You can find people which reflects cuisine and culture from Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia, India, South America, Central America, like everywhere, right? So you can find cuisine, and it's a beautiful mosaic as you drive through towns. If you're in Fort Lee, for example, you're gonna find some of the finest Korean barbecue that you could ever ask for, right? So you come down to Edison, you're gonna find numerous selections of Indian food that reflect the different regions of India. So that is something that is a staple in many different locations throughout the state. Turkish, you name it. I'd say if it's a cuisine that you would easily find in a large metro area like a New York or an LA, you're gonna find it somewhere in northern Jersey, particularly. Challenge number four, toll roads. Wherever you travel, that is a main roadway traveling somewhere in New Jersey, it is likely going to be a toll road. There are a few exceptions, but even those exceptions generally lead to a toll road. So we have the Garden State Parkway, travels north and south, goes to a lot of the shore locations. That's that main local highway, if you will, that is not used as much for interstate travel. New Jersey Turnpike, on the other hand, is going to take you from Delaware all the way up to New York City. Much of the interstate travel is along the Turnpike. There are a lot of commuter roads, 3, 4, 46, 1 and 9. These are roads that travel in and out, all leading to New York City. They themselves do not have tolls, but they lead to where you have to pay a toll to get into New York City. Don't have to pay to get to Jersey, but you have to pay to get into New York. So as I mentioned, Garden State leads down to the shore. A lot of your shore travel, if you're vacationing and you're driving out to Pennsylvania, when you cross over into Pennsylvania, you're going to pay tolls. So there is a lot of toll that is paid out in New Jersey because there is an extreme large number of vehicles and traffic that comes through this state. We are right in the centerpiece of the hub of a lot of commerce. So whether that's going to New England or going to the Mid-Atlantic section towards the nation's capital, or if it's heading out to the Midwest through Pennsylvania, Ohio, what have you, it's going through New Jersey. And much of where that commerce is coming in from is right at the Port of Elizabeth. So one of the largest ports on the East Coast is right here in New Jersey. So those containers are picked up and shipped throughout the East Coast. Number 5, and this may not seem like a big thing, it seems a little bit trivial, but if you are a sports fan, there's something you need to be prepared for. There are 13 major sports teams in the main 4 sports. So we're talking NFL, NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. 13 teams all together are right in around New Jersey. So we have 4 in Philadelphia, the 4 major sports. New Jersey has officially only the Devils, right? So the Red Devils, the hockey team. We really do have the Jets and the Giants. They play here, they practice here, their facilities are here, but they go by New York. That's a different episode. That's a different conversation. And then, of course, you have all the New York teams. All right. So there's 13 altogether. If you are someone who is from, let's say you're from Detroit, you're from LA, you're from Texas, you're from Florida, or as in my case, from Virginia, although I grew up a Steelers fan. But what I learned very quickly is you come to this area, there is 1 or 2 teams for that given sport that's going to be fed to you consistently, and you're not going to be able to watch your team unless you have some kind of special programming package, or you find the local bar or establishment that's going to patronize your team. So that's just something to be prepared for if you are a sports fan and grew up or enjoyed being in a market somewhere where your team was on television quite frequently just to enjoy the game. And finally, the big one, and I think you probably can guess this if you have not heard already, definitely if you are a resident here in the Garden State, you know what number 6 is. That challenge is property taxes. So property taxes is the highest in the nation, all right? But tying back into, and this is where I'm going to kind of give some type of, I don't even know what the word to use right now, but some kind of benefit, for the lack of a better word, of the property taxes is that much of those property taxes are supporting local services that include education, that include fire, that include police. When it comes to education, I'm going to flash this up, and this goes back to the varying municipalities that I mentioned with schools. I'm going to flash this up right here, just showing that New Jersey schools are consistently ranked in the top. Now, right now, this particular image shows us as number 3, but when you look at these metrics between Connecticut and Massachusetts, all of them are pretty close. I mean, they're razor thin in some cases. All right, but you can see basically New Jersey is among the best states when it comes to public education. So those funds certainly go towards education, and they translate into property value. So a location with high property value means in New Jersey, they're good schools relative to a town that doesn't have that same value. So property taxes is a huge one. Nonetheless, we have more counties in New Jersey that have a $10,000 a year median for property tax. We have more counties that like that in New Jersey than any other county in the state. And the county that I live in, yes, it's one of them. And yes, my property taxes are over $10,000 a year. So that's something just to be prepared for. Upside of that, property values are really solid and stable, and they are only increasing, probably on average in the neighborhood of about 10 to 11% increased market value year over year. So there's some benefits to still owning property here in the United States, in New Jersey. However, you pay the taxes for it. So these are the 6 that you want to be aware of as you are looking to become a homeowner here in the Garden State, or if you're looking to come to the Garden State, what you need to be prepared for. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in for this episode. Click like, click subscribe, click notification bell. Stay tuned to more content like this that is coming your way. And we also want to get this word out for those who are still making consideration about buying a home or coming here to the state of New Jersey. There's also, right here in the description, there is a relocation guide that you can access. That guide will provide you with insights, even greater depth and detail about the Garden State, coming here, living here, prospering here. And this is truly indeed a great place to live, great place to be, with the conveniences and the amenities that we have by being just outside of New York City, not far from the mountains, not far from the beach. So thanks again for joining. Stay safe and stay tuned to New Jersey Living. I'll see you next week.